Darth Sion, a name whispered in fear throughout the galaxy, was a Sith Lord unlike any other. His origins were forged in the fires of the old Sith Wars, a time of unimaginable conflict and devastation. These wars tested the limits of the galaxy and birthed some of its most terrifying figures. He embraced pain, not as an enemy, but as a tool, transforming suffering into strength and unimaginable power. He saw agony as a pathway to the dark side, a means to transcend his mortal limitations. As a Sith marauder, a brutal warrior in the service of darkness, Sion learned to welcome wounds that would kill others, accepting them as gifts. He mastered the art of using agony to fuel his rage, turning pain into a weapon. Under the tutelage of Exile, a powerful and influential Dark Lord, he fought relentlessly against the Jedi and the Republic, pushing himself to the brink of destruction. Sion charged into battle, never fearing death or injury, seeing them as mere obstacles to be overcome. Every injury made him stronger, more resilient, channeling pain directly into the dark side, amplifying his connection to its corrupting energy. On the fateful day at Malachor V, the mass shadow generator unleashed its devastating power, obliterating everything in its path. And Sion, caught in the epicenter of the destruction, should have died. But his burning hatred and unwavering will to live, fueled by the dark side, kept him alive against all odds. He refused death's embrace, holding his shattered and broken body together through sheer, unadulterated rage and dark side energy. While countless others perished in the cataclysm, their bodies turned to ash, Sion endured, defying the very laws of nature. He relentlessly used the Force to bind his broken form, piecing himself back together with the dark side. The agony was constant, a never-ending torment, but it became his twisted source of power, the very essence of his being. Sion was no longer just a Sith Lord. He had transcended that title. He became the living embodiment of suffering, a testament to the dark side's corrupting influence. His body was ruined, a grotesque tapestry of scars and broken bones barely held together, but his spirit, fueled by the dark side's insatiable hunger, was unbreakable, indomitable. This was the agonizing birth of the Lord of Pain, Darth Sion, a being who survived through endless torment, becoming a terrifying legend. Sion's twisted philosophy of pain, born from his own suffering, would define his dark legacy and terrorize the galaxy, leaving a trail of fear and destruction in his wake. His dark immortality began not with triumph or glory, but with unimaginable suffering, but with tragedy, a relentless determination to defy death, and a will forged in the fires of eternal pain. After the horrors of Malachor V, a place scarred by the Mandalorian Wars and the activation of the mass shadow generator, Sion's existence became a living nightmare, a constant battle against the very fabric of his being. He was alive, clinging to life with every fiber of his will, yet always agonizingly dying. His body was a grotesque patchwork of festering wounds and broken bones, a testament to the brutal power of the dark side. It was held together only by the raw, corrupting energy of the dark side, a force that both sustained and destroyed him. Every waking moment was an exercise in agony, a symphony of pain that echoed through his very soul. But Sion, in his twisted existence, learned to feed on his pain, to embrace it as a source of strength. He mastered the ability of turning it into raw, unbridled power, a dark gift born from unimaginable suffering. The more he suffered, the more his body was ravaged, the stronger he became, fueled by the very torment that should have destroyed him. A vicious, unending cycle of torment and strength, death and rebirth, pain and power. His appearance was ghastly, a horrifying visage that reflected the corruption within. Grey, cracked skin stretched taut over bone, a walking corpse animated by nothing but pure, unadulterated hate. New injuries, rather than weakening him, only added to his ruin, becoming fuel for his dark power. He simply forced his broken body back together, mending flesh with the dark side's twisted embrace. Sion's mind was utterly consumed by rage, a burning inferno of hatred that left no room for anything else. Joy, compassion, and peace were long lost to him, replaced by an all-consuming darkness. He saw the galaxy through a lens of bitterness and resentment, a place of weakness and hypocrisy. He focused his hatred, targeting the Jedi, viewing them as the embodiment of weakness, a festering wound upon the galaxy. To Sion, pain was the only true constant, the only reality that mattered, and he wanted with every fiber of his broken being for the Jedi to understand and embrace it. His goal was brutally simple: to make the entire galaxy suffer as he did, to drown it in the same agony that consumed him. Sion's very existence served as a chilling warning. He was no longer a man, not in any meaningful sense of the word, but a living, breathing monument to the corrupting power of hatred and the seductive allure of the dark side. The Lord of Pain was sustained by the suffering of others, a parasite feeding on the galaxy's despair, and he would share his pain, his torment, his unending agony with all who dared to stand in his path. In the chaos after the Jedi Civil War, Sion found new purpose with Darth Traya and Darth Nihilus. Together, they formed the Sith Triumvirate, an alliance of betrayal, hunger, and pain. Traya, the mastermind; Nihilus, the devourer; Sion, the unkillable enforcer. Their base was Malachor V, a world steeped in darkness. The Triumvirate waged a secret war, hunting Jedi in the shadows. Sion became the relentless hunter, feared across the galaxy. Their alliance was fragile, built on ambition and mutual distrust. Traya taught Sion and Nihilus, but her cryptic lessons bred resentment. Sion and Nihilus saw her as a manipulator, planting seeds of betrayal. The Triumvirate's power was immense, but its doom was inevitable. In the end, their unity would shatter under the weight of their own darkness. The Sith Triumvirate's mission was clear: exterminate the Jedi. This was not conquest but annihilation. Traya orchestrated the hunt, exploiting Jedi weaknesses. Nihilus consumed worlds. Sion hunted Jedi across the stars. Sion's legend grew, an immortal terror who could not be killed. Fear became their greatest weapon, scattering the Jedi. The Jedi, already weakened, were unprepared for such relentless foes. Enclaves fell, masters vanished, and hope faded. The first Jedi purge began, pushing the Order to extinction. Sion reveled in the destruction, seeing each kill as proof of his philosophy. For him, the hunt was more than duty, it was his purpose. The galaxy's light dimmed as Sion's shadow spread. The Triumvirate's power was built on ambition, not loyalty. Sion and Nihilus grew impatient with Traya's subtlety, seeing her as an obstacle. Their breaking point came. They turned on Traya, severing her from the Force and exiling her. With Traya gone, Sion and Nihilus ruled, but their war became more brutal and unfocused. Sion established a Sith Academy on Korriban, training assassins in pain and hatred. He ruled through fear, using students as tools for his vendetta. But casting out Traya created a powerful enemy. She survived, seeking the Jedi exile Meetra Surik to stop them. Sion and Nihilus, blinded by pride, set in motion their own downfall. Their betrayal sealed their fate, even as they stood at their peak. The galaxy's fate, hanging precariously in the balance, rested with Meetra Surik, the Jedi exile, a figure shrouded in both mystery and immense power. She had survived the horrors of Malachor V, a crucible of unimaginable destruction, severing her connection to the Force, a desperate act of self-preservation amidst the chaos. Traya, now her enigmatic mentor, saw something extraordinary in Meetra, saw Meetra as unique, a beacon of light in the encroaching darkness that drew Sion, a lord of the Sith consumed by pain, and Nihilus, a being of pure hunger, a void in the Force. Sion became obsessed with Meetra, captivated by her ability to defy death, hunting her relentlessly across the galaxy, seeking to understand her power. Each confrontation was a brutal test of wills, left Sion unable to defeat her permanently. His body would regenerate, but his spirit was slowly eroding. Her resilience confounded him, a constant reminder of his own failures. Meetra's strength came from healing and connection, not hatred and destruction, a path Sion, steeped in the dark side, could not comprehend nor accept. He saw her as a potential student, a weapon to be forged in the fires of his own pain, hoping to break and remake her in his own twisted image. His obsession became a weakness, a chink in his armor of hatred. complicating his hatred with a twisted, grudging respect for her unwavering spirit. Sion tried to turn Mitra against Traya, preying on her past and her vulnerabilities, seeking to claim her as his own, a prize to be won in his endless war. He failed to see that Mitra's true power lay not in destruction, but was compassion, empathy, and the will to let go of the pain that consumed him. Sion's fixation, his inability to understand compassion, would ultimately lead to his undoing, a tragic end for a broken soul. The final battle between Sion and Mitra Surik unfolded on Malachor V. Sion, at his strongest, believed his immortality made him invincible. No matter how many times Mitra struck him down, he rose again, fueled by pain. Realizing she could not win by force, Mitra changed tactics. She spoke to Sion's humanity. She revealed his immortality as a prison, not power. Sion was not a lord of pain, but its slave. Her words broke through his rage, forcing him to confront the truth. Mitra offered him a choice: endless suffering or peace. Exhausted, Sion finally let go of his hatred, allowing himself to die. His body crumbled, freed at last from torment. Darth Sion, the Lord of Pain, found peace in letting go.